Hello, I'm Josh Gishri, and I'm filling in for James Milan. Today I'm joined by Arlington Town Manager Jim Feeney for his Town Hall update. Welcome, Jim.
Thanks, Josh.
In this Town Hall update, we'll hear about upcoming town meeting, the comment period for the draft comprehensive plan update, spring street sweeping, the return of biweekly yard collection, and EcoFest. Where would you like to begin, Jim?
Thanks, Josh. Happy to be here as always. I think I'd like to start with just some post-election gratitude. Sure. So obviously on March 28th, we had the annual town election where there was a ballot question for an operating override under Proposition 2.5. So I just want to express my gratitude to the voters and taxpayers for their continued investment in Arlington and its future. It was certainly a rewarding outcome for myself and all of the other staff. It's very motivating as a public servant to know the people you serve value the work you do every day. So my sincere thanks to the voters and taxpayers for their continued support, and know that we will continue to work hard to deliver the high quality municipal services and quality public education that residents have come to enjoy and appreciate, while also adhering to the Select Board's commitments for this particular override, where we will exercise fiscal discipline through strict expenditure limits. We'll maintain a strong financial position generally through prudent fiscal planning. We will do our best to minimize the impact on taxpayers, particularly seniors, by publicizing and offering information sessions on property tax relief programs. And most importantly, that we will not ask for another Proposition 2.5 operating override for at least the next 3 fiscal years. So again, my thanks to Arlington's voters.
Yeah, and thank you for everyone that followed along for ACMi's coverage of the election. It was my first election in Arlington, and it was fascinating to just see everyone in the town come together in that way. Jim, is there an update that you have for AmpUp comprehensive plan?
There is, but before we jump into that, I would just, the annual town election usually signals the start of town meeting season. So if I could, I would just offer a quick update that town meeting starts on Monday, April 27th, and will continue every Monday and Wednesday from 8 to 11 p.m. until all the warrant articles have been heard. So this year we have 96 articles on the warrant, which is a bit higher than usual. So we're anticipating at least a few weeks of town meeting. So as part of town meeting this year, we will be debuting a new platform for the online annotated warrant. This new platform will organize all of the information about each particular warrant article in one place. It's actually the same platform that we recently launched for agendas and minutes for our public meetings. So there are a number of boards and committees and individuals that compile reports and make recommendations, and that content is being finalized as we speak. So when ready, this information will be provided to the town clerk's office, who will organize it and post it online in the annotated warrant. So it's a living document, the annotated warrant, that we work to at least get all of the initial reports and recommendations posted to prior to Patriots' Day weekend, so that town meeting members, both existing and newly elected, have the week prior to the start of town meeting to start beginning to review materials in earnest. And I know, as always, residents will be able to watch and follow along on ACMi on the broadcast, as well as, I believe, you can stream it online in real time as well. Mm-hmm. So, and finally, while we're on the topic, though not necessarily found on the annotated warrant, but maybe of interest to town meeting members and residents alike, is that the 2025 annual town report has been published, and it is now available on the town's website. What that does is focus on significant accomplishments of the prior calendar year, as well as list some of the goals for the upcoming year. So thank you for allowing me to expound on that.
Of course, of course. No, that's exactly what the Town Hall update is for. I appreciate all that information coming forward. And please, if you get the chance to follow along with ACMi, as Jim mentioned, we'll be covering our town meetings. And having the transparency in town with the report and things of that nature, it's fantastic to be able to appreciate all of the things that go into making Arlington thrive.
Thank you. So one of the items that will be before town meeting this year is actually the AmpUp comprehensive plan update that you referenced. So the Department of Planning and Community Development and the AmpUp Advisory Committee, as we know it, would like to thank everyone who attended the community meeting on March 26th to review the draft plan. It has been developed over a year-long process following numerous outreach events, community input, staff consultation, and public surveys that have resulted in what is Arlington's vision for its next 10 years, and the update will include strategies for how we get there. So the town is accepting final comments online through April 12th before the plan is scheduled for adoption by our redevelopment board, and then ultimately for endorsement at town meeting this year. So to review the draft comprehensive plan and submit your final comments, I invite you to visit arlingtonma.gov/compplan for more info.
Good thing for our viewers to know. Now, the weather is turning, so it is springtime again, and springtime means spring street cleaning. So what does it look like for us on the spring street sweeping?
So this spring townwide street sweeping operation actually began this week. So generally, streets are swept sequentially, starting with the first route, which is in fact Route 1, but obviously not to be confused with the famed stretch in Saugus. So if residents want to be alerted via text or email when street sweepers will be in their neighborhood, we invite you to provide your text and email contact information and create an Arlington Alert profile at arlingtonma.gov/connect. If you already receive Arlington Alert texts and emails, you are already in the system. No further action is required, but if you'd like to know when you can expect the street sweeper in your neighborhood, please do sign up. In that way, and I'll offer a couple of reminders, you'll know when the street sweeper is going to be coming by so you can park off street and you can be mindful of where you place your trash and recycling carts to ensure that the street sweeper can get all the way into the gutter line and clean, curb to curb and get the best results. So street sweepers are generally in a neighborhood on a route for 2 days and can come by the street several times. So don't immediately put your car back in the street right after they pass. They may in fact be off emptying the street sweeper, the hopper, or the driver may have gotten called in for another duty. There certainly are a number of emergencies, and the folks in our highway division serve a number of roles. And they can also be coming back to make a final pass the following day. So it's generally a 2-day operation in a neighborhood. So as best you can, please park off street another day after you first see the street sweeper in your neighborhood.
All right, thank you. So 2 days, you said. That give it that grace period of 2 days in case there are some changes that are happening on your street. And similarly to that, what can you tell us about this weekly yard waste resuming?
So yard waste collection begins again the week of April 12th. So it will start on Monday on everyone's regular trash day. And then it will continue bi-weekly or every other week until the fall. So the alternating week yard waste collection goes into the fall, but then when you hit November through mid-December, it will continue weekly for the final 6 weeks of the annual program. So we just want to remind everyone that yard waste needs to be in the paper yard waste bags or in a barrel that has one of the town's yard trimmings stickers, which are available for free for pickup at either Town Hall, Public Works on Grove Street, the Community Center on Maple Street, or the Robbins Library.
Fantastic, Jim. Thank you for that. In that same vein now, we've talked about sweeping, we've talked about cleaning. Let's talk about EcoFest and what that means for Arlington.
Indeed, another sign of spring. So April 22nd is Earth Day and will be the official launch of Arlington's EcoFest, which is a month-long time of learning, volunteering, and celebrating the planet. So there are going to be townwide events and various community events, most of which are free, and I just wanted to offer some highlights today if I could, Josh. So on April 22nd, which is Earth Day, there will be a Go Fish mural workshop with Arts Arlington. There will be 2 secure document shredding events on Saturday, March 2nd and Saturday, March 9th at the 33 Ryder Street facility. I know document shredding is a very popular event. I will note that our swap shed will be open on Thursdays in the month of April. And on May 8th, the annual Arlington High School Eco Fair will be taking place. It will feature live music, food, crafts, lawn games, public art projects, and activities run by student leaders of environmental initiatives. So there are dozens of other events that I invite the public to visit the EcoFest website to learn more and even add events that may be of interest to that calendar. And again, that is at arlingtonma.gov/ecofest.
Thank you, Jim. And I will say to that point, ACMi News will be attending those events. So look out for our biweekly newscast. I'm sure to show up to some of those things, and hopefully I can see some of the residents here as well. Now, Jim, is there any last remarks, anything else that you'd like to tell us for this town hall update?
No, that'll do it for today.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. As always, it's a pleasure to have you and the kind of work that you bring to town. Thank you all so much for listening. For ACMi, I'm Josh Gishri. We'll see you next time.